I'm losing the sun. I just got to make a decision. Because it is cold. I think it's gone. Something popped or barked out there. I don't know, I feel like they're not really working. This evening I'm headed out up into the mountains after the end of this February winter storm. Snowed a lot up here, like I think it was something like 20 inches of snow came down. So I'm out here tonight, just gonna camp out in it and enjoy a cold tonight that I hope I survive. I don't have much of a plan. Look for a spot that looks good enough to set up my tent and losing the sun. I knew starting with this many layers was gonna be dumb. My hands are cold, but my core is hot. Barely fits on there. It's almost 6. The sun is setting. It is currently 35 degrees. The low with wind chill tonight is 17 degrees. So I want to be bundled up kind of long before we get to that point. The sun will probably be set in, I don't know, 20, 30 more minutes, and then after that, headlamp time if need be. But there's plenty of spots to find a campsite, so it should be all right. I have a point pinned, an idea in mind of where I'd like to go. So I've got this bend. Oh, and it's actually like right up on this ridge behind me. I feel like I'm kind of stuck at a crossroad. The sun is setting, I'm watching it right now. I've got maybe 5-10 minutes. If I do the old Bear Grylls, finger trick, well, heck, maybe 20 minutes at most. It's 5:45 now. Do I go back a little ways? There was a good sight back there. Or do I try to push up a little further? I just got to make a decision. It's not that hard. But I'm gonna push a little further. What could possibly go wrong? Oh well, too late. I kind of wish I had my snowshoes. This is the south facing aspect of this range, and I thought the sun would have melted it a little more, but not yet. It's still been too cold. This is about where I'm trying to camp tonight. Somewhere in here. I see a good spot in the trees down there. The original plan was kind of up there somewhere, but I don't know. That's kind of looking like a good spot in there. I'll go up, check it out. I've already lost most of the light already, so a couple more minutes isn't gonna make much of a difference at this point. Ooh, that does look good down there. Oh. Yikes, that's deep. Oh. And slick. I'm getting good vibes from this kind of path in here. Mid-slope, I like that. I'm not down in the valley where all that cold air will sink. I'm gonna go down and check that out. This is a lot of work, filming all this kind of back and forth. I don't know how Les Stroud did this. Yeah, in here's looking pretty good. Got a nice flat spots to tamp the snow down and set my tent up, which I should be doing right now. I'm gonna pick my little spot and flatten all this, kind of compact it, give me a little more insulation. Tent to set up. Now time to get my sleep system going. So how it's gonna work is compacted snow, ground sheet for the tent, kind of hoping to squeeze a degree or two out of that, a foldable Z-Lite mattress, and then my inflatable Nemo Tensor Extreme air mattress on top of that. Then I'm gonna do I have a old USGI woodland camo bivvy. Then it'll be my sleeping bag, which is a 20 degree, and then I have a liner in there that adds like 15 degrees or something. Plus I'll have all my layers on and my emergency parka that's hanging up in a tree over there. I should bring that over before I lose it in the dark. Something popped or barked out there. It's the exploding trees. I remember reading about that in The Hatchet or Brian's Hunt. There were 3 of them, right? There was a Hatchet, Brian's Winter, and Brian's Hunt. So it was probably, I remember. There's the Hatchet, but I think Brian's Winter is the alternate ending to Hatchet, where he doesn't get rescued and he has to survive the winter. And he's freaked out because he thinks he's getting rescued because he thinks there's hunters out there, because he keeps hearing like explosions or what he thinks is gunshots. And I think he walks out there and he finds out it's just the water frozen in the trees that just starts exploding because it's so cold. So maybe that's what that was. That's what I'm gonna tell myself anyway. Anyway, before I keep yapping, I'm gonna start getting some layers on, because it is cold. And I should have done this earlier, but I was too busy bumping my gums. There. That's better. Why didn't I do that before? Because I'm a fool, that's why. So I've got 3 layers on. I've got my shirt. No, 4 layers on. I've got my shirt, which is Evolved Equipment long sleeve sun hoodie, and then I've got my classic blue Columbia fleece with a Montbell 800 down jacket, and then the Enlightened Equipment synthetic down jacket. And then if need be, I've got my parka and thermals as well. I'm gonna get my sleeping bag out so that can start lofting up. Next is inflate the mattress. That's boring, so I'm not gonna show you that. I got some relatively compacted snow, tent layers, Z-Lite sleeping pad, and then my Nemo Tensor Extreme. Now I'm gonna put the bivvy up. This will go in there. Now we'll do the reactor sleeping bag liner. This will add, allegedly, adds like 15 degrees. Kind of real claustrophobic, but you know, I'll take the extra degrees. Like the hole in the wall video where I had to get into desert mode, tonight it's gonna be getting to mountain mode, because it's gonna be cold. Got my fleece buff, turtle fur, love this thing. And then my kind of black commando beanie. I'm gonna try to get a fire going. I think it's gone. It ain't a pretty fire, but it's warm and it'll last a while. It's too late for coffee, and I don't drink tea, but right now some tea would hit. I don't have any, so I'm just gonna make some warm water. Away from the fire, it's 29 degrees over where my tent is. Over here by the fire, I'm getting 76 degrees over here. Man, gotta move back again. It's getting hot. Looks like the water's done. Glove up. I'll let that cool off and have a few sips for warm water. Fire's starting to die down. It's getting cold. I think it's about time to get into bed and start warming up the sleeping bag. Even here next to the fire, the thermometer's saying it's 40 degrees. And 35 in here at the moment. But got a couple of gadgets, tricks to help me out. I'm gonna put 2 or 3 hot hands in my sleeping bag. And then I've got an electric hand warmer. So I'll turn this on. And this will give me a few hours of heat throughout the night. We'll get that going. It's at 104. It's got 3 temps, 104, 122, and 140. 140 is hot. It comes with a little bag you're supposed to put it in, but I don't have it. Don't know where it went. And I also got my thermal pants and shirt. I think my torso will be okay. I've got 2 jackets on, but I think I'll put the thermals on. Then I have the Evolved Supply Co. Booties with that alpha fabric so you don't get all sweaty. So I'll put these on. Should be pretty good. I love these things. I also have E Full Gear. It's a like thermal pack that you would put your mountain house in. Keeps it warmer. Like a big koozie. It's kind of like an insulating material. I'm going to put my electronics into tonight so they don't freeze, because the cold will zap your batteries. In the liner. I don't know, I feel like they're not really working. And then the bivvy. And if anything, the bivvy will just keep some of the condensation off my sleeping bag. Wrapped up in all my layers. We have reached 30 degrees. The low for tonight was like 21, with wind chill being somewhere around 17 degrees.
Morning. I survived the night. That wasn't my most uncomfortable night, but not my warmest night either. Everything worked pretty well. The thermometer said it was 26 in here kind of throughout the night. So now I'm just kind of waiting for the sun to come up. 31 degrees. Getting toasty. My fingers hurt already.
Today's new coffee tryout is Kuju Coffee Base Camp Blend. A filter, ground coffee, just add water. There we go. It smells good. Oh, it's pretty good. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. It's good. Overall, this trip went pretty well. I didn't freeze to death, so that's a good sign. Only woke up a few times in the night. I stayed pretty warm. The hot hands placed throughout the sleeping bag worked. At some point early in the morning or late at night before the sun came up, I lost the hot hands by my foot. So then my feet started to get a little cool, but wasn't too bad. I was able to push through knowing the sun was about to come up. The electronic hand warmer, I think that did a lot of the work. I really liked having that. That was a big help. A couple other things I would do differently. One, get an earlier start instead of starting basically at sunset yesterday like I did. Have a warmer sleeping bag. The one I had was a Z-Pax 20 degree. With the liner and all my layers on, it wasn't too bad. But I think either doubling up on my sleeping bags or just having maybe a bigger, warmer, maybe a 0 degree would be nice. Having a little more room to turn around in wouldn't be bad. I would also bring a bigger backpack. A little more space would have been nice, having to shove all my cold layers and whole sleep system in. So I've got a 45 liter that I'm using right now. Something at least, maybe a 50 or a 60 liter might be nice for the next time. I was looking back at the footage from last night and I didn't even realize that the earpiece came off of my sunglasses yesterday. Never even felt it, so in like half the footage it's gonna be tucked around my ear. I apologize for that. Finished the coffee. It's starting to warm up. So I guess it's time to pack up and start making my way home. And instantly, just like that, camp is packed up. That was a fun night out here. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.